Well, I'll tell you what. I thought we were off to a great start today. We'll talk about the babies in a minute. I was happy with them. We rushed through them, and anytime you know the rain is coming, and you beat it by minutes, you get this big smile on your face, and obviously you have time to think about how the day actually went. Think about the horse. Wasn't perfect. There were a couple of horses that made breaks, I think. One that I went with. So we'll talk with them, but no concerns at I don't know why this horse made a break. Nothing pressing, but certainly some stuff to unpack. I was going to do that later on, to be frank. I wanted to watch the races start today, then soak it all up and give you my take on it, and then Arrowhead Hanover makes a break leaving. Now, he has not made one break since last year. I don't think training that I can remember anyway, training back, training down, or schooling, qualifying, or racing. He's made one break in his life. The last time I can guarantee we made a break was in the Sire Stakes final, and he ran at that racetrack in the exact same place. Now, anytime any of those younger kids drive for me, I'm sure I try my hardest not to give them too many instructions. And I said to Sean, I wouldn't put him right on the gate, which you can do, but he'll get a little grabby coming off the car, and he'll put a couple little bumps in. You just got to leave him alone. Just literally, you'll feel him. If you go to leave, when you go to leave with him, he'll put one or two little steps in like he's just squaring himself away, and then he'll take off. I can't tell you why he ran that day in the final, still to this day, and I have no idea why he made a break today. Sean had told Tim after that he thought maybe he wears a snake cord, maybe the snake cord was bothering him, which I'm certainly not saying that Sean made excuses. I mean, he's only sat behind the horse for 10 minutes of his life. But that horse has worn that cord since February of last year when he was a 2-year-old. So I'm curious myself as to what took place with him. And it's just one of those things. Like I said, I've driven him, trained him his whole life, and I can't tell you why he made that break in the final. So it'd be really hard for me to say, okay, I need to know exactly why he made that break today. I know the feeling. So the good news is he doesn't have to qualify. Now, this is exactly, people say to me all the time, and it gives me pause too. I booked off Jimbery on Monday because it was one horse. We entered 2. We got one horse in the 13th race at the Poconos. Not really what I'm after, to be honest. I look at the draw, and the one horse that's in with Jimbery went in 54-4 yesterday. I told you. You think, she'll go to the Weiss. She'll do great. It's one of those early closers, you never know. And although I don't think that filly's going to win in 53 next week, Gilda looked like a nice little filly. Throws her head a lot coming into the gate. I didn't really look closely at her lines. But Jimbery's 2 starts. She can't really trot in 59 and then go out and trot in 50, 54, 55. There's a progression to it, right? And even though she did it last year, that speed still has to be attained, has to be fostered. And that does not mean you're going to see me go out and blast her tonight. No. I'm going to try and win tonight. I'm going to try and get all I can get. I'm going to try and go easy on her because she is in 5 days. But it will take a couple starts. It would be shocking to me if she just goes out and railroads him in 54 or 55 on Monday in the Poconos. Having said that, stranger things have happened, I suppose. A number of people asking for updates on Arson. I gave a video, one of our clients posted it on Facebook, which I was hesitant to do, to post it publicly, just because, so your clients, I'll let you know, as it says in the caption of the video, which I wrote, and it's absolutely true, what you're watching is a miracle. This horse was... I've said this one time before. I've said this twice in my life I can remember. The first time was Punch the Clock when she was sick in the university, and they absolutely retrieved her from the grave. And the second one was Lover's Play, and the same surgeon that saved her life is the one that has to this point saved Arson's. Now let me unpack this. This is where this entire story is. Arson broke his cannon bone. No, shattered his cannon bone. Now the cannon bone's a big bone. You know, if you guys follow racing, you know that Always Be Mickey has screws in both his hind cannon bones. He raced, took the world record with them in his cannon bone. So it's a big weight-bearing bone. His was a big weight-bearing bone. It turned into a jigsaw puzzle really quick. And even when Dr. Brown called me late at night when he looked at the x-rays, he didn't think that the horse had a very good chance of survival. There just wasn't enough. You have to open it up. You have to take out all the fragments that aren't fixable. Then you have to put in plate or plates, surgical plates, and screws. I have no idea how you do this. I can assure you he does. 33 screws and 2 surgical plates later, Arson was put back together. And truth be told, from the way it was explained to me by Dr. Latessa and Dr. Brown, Humpty Dumpty had nothing on Arson. But his survival rate right now is still only 50%. You have to stave off laminitis, infection, a host of other little issues. So there's watermarks. Truth be told, Arson was about a 20% chance when he went into the clinic. After the operation, it was still around 30. He had to be able to be, and what Dr. Brown said, he needs to be smart. He needs to get up, not thrash, not try and walk on that leg, not do something stupid. Just relax. And Arson, being the coolest customer in the world, just got up like, well, that happens. No big deal. Walked back to his stall. Cool as a cucumber. I got the call from Dr. Brown. I got the video from Dr. Brown, and I will post it publicly tonight since it is public right now. And that's to my. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus to Dave. He didn't know. Nobody knew what I was talking about. I didn't send the video with a disclaimer. I just didn't want anybody. I don't want to get this big, following up for Arson, and then, something bad happen. I would rather just quietly cheer for him until we have more of a certainty. So the watermarks went as this: 20 when he went in the clinic, 30 after surgery. Surgery was 5 hours long. 30 after he went in for surgery. Then he was, he'll be 50% out of surgery. 50% out of surgery. And at the 14-day mark, now this was Dr. Latessa had said to me, at the 14-day mark, he believes, where is everybody? At the 14-day mark, he believes the infection, he's probably out of the woods for infection. I'm not sure about the laminitis, I have no idea. But he figured at the 14-day mark, he would go to 75%. Because the biggest hurdle of all, the last one, is he needs to stay intelligent on that leg. He can't wake up one day, think that leg's feeling good, kick the wall, or jump around, to which case, and then he has to be smart, right? He just can't do anything stupid. Is our horse up here? There she is. Neither one of those are Jimbery. Maybe she is at the barn. After he does all that, if he is at the 2-month mark, 8 weeks, it hasn't been one. At 8 weeks, if he can walk on it and the radiographs look good, he figures possibly out of the woods. Now you can start to rehab him to the point where he can walk. He'll never race again. I want everybody to know that. There isn't that miracle story where he finds a winner's circle again one day. That isn't what this is about. Saving Arson, quite frankly. And I didn't want it to sound like this was my ulterior motive. But saving Arson would be giving him an opportunity to be a stud in the Maritimes or out west, somewhere in Western Canada, maybe, or somewhere out in Minnesota. I have no idea. But make no mistake, I've already had 2 people message me, one actually from New Zealand, saying, you know, when you look at the bloodline of Arson, one, he's won in 150 at, I think, 5 different tracks, 4 for sure. He was a very good horse. His mother's in the Hall of Fame. His sister's well on the way to being in the Hall of Fame, if she isn't. Probably one of the best fillies mares ever to look through a bridle in pure country. That's his 3/4 sister. His mother, Western Montana, is in the Hall of Fame, and Arson was no slouch himself. Not really. When you look at his race lines and you look at everything, you know, it's not the horse that screams stud. He's not going to head over shoe farms. But nevertheless, he could be a viable stud somewhere. And wouldn't that be nice someday, right? To see a bunch of horses by Arson racing. And this isn't about saving the life of a viable stud and trying to get those last few dollars out of him. That's not what this is. That was simply us trying to do everything we can for a horse that did everything for us and gave everything for us. So that's where we're at with Arson. Another highly anticipated colt, maybe certainly not with the acumen of Arson, was Captain Incredible. Everybody asked me how he was. He was good today. He trained in 2.5, made a little skip up in the far turn. We had changed his shoes a little bit because his ankles were bothering him. Just that transition from winter to spring as a 3-year-old. We'll get him over to the Meadows probably next week, and he may stay there, quite frankly. I don't know yet. But he was sharp. Really, really sharp. Happy with what I saw from him. Dr. Latessa is going to do some vet work on him tomorrow. I think what we'll do for the time being, put the shoes on him we had on him when he was racing good, when he was training good. They're a little harder on him. So he'll touch a knee. He'll get to both of his knees up front a little bit. Did that last year and did this year. That will dissipate as his shoulders grow out and he fills out to be a more stout, wider colt. But he will brush a knee. With the flip-flops on, he'll get into both knees. With we had a full switch with shims and 2 corks on the outside just for a horse that gets at themselves. He misses just ever so slightly, but the difference is significant in his gait. So probably what we'll do, we'll leave the flip-flops on to jog him and to go his training miles, maybe slow miles. The flip-flops will be fine, but when we start to speed him up and show him some real speed, we're going to have to slide those other shoes back on. We'll have those back on for Tuesday at the Meadows, a schooler for him. And another quick update just for the baby's day. Everybody was good. I'm going to give you, everybody was good. There was no horses again this week. I'm like, oh my God. In fact, a lot of horses really surprised me. I told you I trained in New York in 225 with no hobbles on. I didn't think the old training wheels would be coming off for a while, but he was good. Perfection Hanover trained in 230 yesterday with a different group. Lauren and the guys that she trains with her trotters were going, and I said, hey, can I jump in with you? Because I was jogging Perfection. I knew the set list, and I knew I couldn't go with them today. So I said, you know what? I can't go with them on Wednesday, but I can go with them on Tuesday. I did, and he trained good. Steady Vola was a little sick. He had the day off. Same with Steph's Hope and Hanger One. I've talked to you about Hanger One. A lot of people asking about him. He's not lame. He's not sick. He's just growing up and he's maturing, but he's a big, strong colt, and I want to keep him contained. Now, I've been galloping him, and he loves it, and he's really good at it. He's very strong at it, maybe a little too strong, and I noticed that he maybe lost about 25 pounds over the last 2 weeks, although he's a good eater, which is a clear indicator that I've been working him too hard. So he just backed off for the last few days. Put him on the equicizer, which won't hurt him anyway. Get him used to the gait type scenario. Put him on the equicizer for a little bit. Made sure that he was eating all his meals, which he is. He's starting to feel good, and maybe we'll start training him slow mile next week. Slow is the tough part. Maybe if I train him by himself next week, because he's never had an issue in the crowds. It's the speed. That 230 to 240 speed just almost seems too slow for him. Switching gears in that group scenario is difficult for him. So maybe next week I'll just go mile on 235. All by himself, just go a nice even mile with him and see how he is. So how did our sets go? Everybody was good in the first set. Emerald Tom trotted and looked good. Johnny said left line a little bit. Okay, we'll put a Murphy blind on the outside of him. Love Sensation was great. Did touch her inside knee. Gonna have to put some knee boots on her, which aren't gonna be a problem either. Supermind made a break coming out of the turn. The only question mark was why. It was a little bit after where he made the break the other day. I can see what he's doing. He's touching down low. I don't want to get all crazy and changing his shoes right yet. So probably what I'll do is just cover him up a little bit better. I'll go with him this week and see how he feels. Everybody else in that set was good. He's a Fearless Peter, Rose Run Bobby, Aunt Sarah, Royal Flush Dio. All those horses were very good today. Second set, these were all big sets. We're trying to get done before the rain. Cherry's Girl, Joe J. Foteg, Zena Kemp. I won the set with Jailbird Jog. She was awesome. Everybody else in that set trotted and did their work well. Judy's Money was beside me. Royal Duchess was to my left. Zena Kemp was climbing over me behind. All the horses in that set went well. Third set, Uncle Danny beat them again. Everybody was good in there. Capistrano Knights made a break. I went back out after him, 1/4 and 34 seconds with her. We just added a Murphy blind. Tyler said she was just running in ever so slightly. Where's that filly at, do you know? Jimbery. Yeah, but she's not in the paddock yet, is she? Can you ask one of them where she is? Just tell them I want to go a mile with her right now. All right, sorry about that. Uncle Danny, Pretty Eyes and Lies, Capistrano Knights. Neuromancer was great. I let his hobbles out. I'll probably take the hobbles off him again for next week, see how he was. Leland Hanover's first day without the flip-flops. He was very good again. And Don't Ask Again was improved again. Baby steps with her. I made a break with Megan's Lucky Day today. She was a little choppy. The track was chewed up. She was a little choppy in the last turn. I'm trying to figure out the consistency with her. She was great the other day, but a little bit flat, but felt confident and comfortable in her gait. Today she was a little more choppy. Hey Jace, is Jimbery up there? Okay, I'm gonna go train Jimbery a mile. Just trying to figure out where she's at. So Megan's Lucky Day made a break. I know you guys probably don't want to hear, don't worry, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. Her focus is on her task. She just gets a little rolly, a little choppy in the turns. Let's get the flip-flops off her and see if she's worse or better throughout the month of April. So that's what we'll do. Everybody else was great. Blue Rare, great. Tomboy Strong, great. Blue Rare was a little racy today, Eric said. I said, well, when we go slow miles from now, I'll put an ear hood on her. Keep her quiet. ACDC was fine. Degas was good. Rico Tubbs better with a jawbreaker on him. He said, still a little left. I said, well, you can put a Murphy blind on the outside if you want. I don't want him running in the turns on a half, but we can try him with a Murphy outside. And Captain Doolittle was good again today. Last set were the Pacers, and who did I hit? Oh, I Go Strong Hanover in there. He just had all his toes chopped off, and he was pretty wild today. I haven't gone with him in a while, and I'll go with him again next week just to see how he is. Made a few changes, but he's every bit as good as we thought he was. He is a big, strong colt. Really, really happy with Go Strong Hanover. Yeah, no, but he said she's up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going up there right now. Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
So, Sweet Lake, I thought, filled out good and looking good. Better every day. Diosa Della Donza was good. Highest Honor was very good. And Johnny got to go with Perfect Thought today, and she was great again. Everybody trained good today. I made 2 breaks. Go Strong Hanover was a little wild, made a break, which is extremely rare for him, so we'll give him a complete pass. Megan's Lucky Day, we'll get the flip-flops off her, see if we can't get her more comfortable. That's the word. She wasn't as comfortable today. No soreness, no lameness, nothing like that. The consistency needs to be a little bit better with her. But her mind is there. You might say, well, how can her mind be straight if she's making breaks? She's doing her best. Around the last turn, they started to trot hard. They got away on her quick, and she tried to catch up in the turn. She got out of gear, it rolled off. So obviously she's touching. How can we fix that? We're going to start by taking the flip-flops off her. Just looking to see who else made breaks today, if anybody. Capistrano Knights did. That seemed fine after to me with Murphy on added. Nobody in that one. And nobody in that one. So, a pretty good day with the babies. They did everything we wanted. Just a nice, easy day today. It doesn't look like they're going to get a chance to go on Saturday, but we went really hard on Wednesday. So, we'll skip Saturday, go right into Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe Tuesday, and let them rock a little bit next week also. So, it's working out well. The training schedule is working out well. The babies are coming along nicely. Happy with every single horse in the barn. As I said, a couple of minor little things we have to work on, but nothing serious. So I gotta go warm up Jimbery right now, and hopefully we can get this day back on track. Take care.